Javonte, what do you think is, if you had to circle the biggest takeaway from why you guys have just struggled as a team over the past couple of weeks, what would you say that'd be?
Yeah, I feel like maybe the biggest thing is just not playing like complementary together. I feel like it's kind of lopsided sometimes. We let too much go on defense, or we don't make enough plays on offense, and it's always like we're trying to come back in the end. But I feel like we just gotta just play a complete game, a full game, and it'll really show us like how talented we are.
What's got to be the message, not only this week, but just over the course of the remaining 3 games, regardless of if you guys can sneak into the playoffs or not?
Yeah, take it one play at a time. Don't worry about what's down the road or anything like that. All we can control is now, so just play as hard as you can now, and you never know how to turn out.
Javonte, you've played against this Chargers defense multiple times in your career. What makes them so tough to go up against?
Yeah, they always had good edge players. D-line always been good. Derwin. The linebackers are pretty good too, so just them being a veteran group, not really doing too much. So they pretty much know exactly where to be at on plays, and we just got to go out, start fast, and see where we at in the game.
How's your health? Was it shoulder or a stinger? What was the?
Yeah, I had a stinger in my shoulder, but the feeling and everything's coming back, so I should be good.
Is that why you kind of the second quarter you kind of sat out most of that just to get the feeling back?
Yeah, just get the feeling and a little bit of my strength back. Mm-hmm.
Did you want to come back?
Huh?
Did you want to come back? It looked like you were pacing the sidelines a little bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, I definitely want to be out there. Anytime I can be out there helping the team, that's what I want to do. And we know how much that game meant. So, all these games at the end. So we just got to keep playing and keep grinding.
You were the first outside free agent signed by the Cowboys this offseason. You've obviously exceeded expectations. Nothing but high praise coming from Schottenheimer. Yesterday he said he wants you to be with the Cowboys for a long time. Mm-hmm. I know you're trying to be where your feet are, but have you allowed your mind to kind of float toward free agency?
Yeah.
Do you want to stay in Dallas?
No, I ain't even thought that far yet. I really just been focused on like this little last couple game stretch. But because I know you got to finish strong no matter what you're doing. So just finishing strong right now is my main goal. But yeah, I love it here. I love my teammates. I love everybody. So we're just gonna keep going there and see how these last 2 games go.
Javonte, if the playoffs are out of the picture, can you turn your motivation to things like trying to avoid having a losing record or personal accomplishments, other things to motivate you?
I wouldn't really try to get too hung up on that. Like I said, I just want to enjoy these last couple games. We've been through a lot, and I feel like this is one of the most talented teams I've been on. So just going out there and playing together and playing a complete game would be enough for me.
But if you go out there Sunday, you guys are already eliminated. Like, how do you get up for the game?
Yeah, just knowing that it's still the NFL. You still can make plays. It's still going to be on TV. Everybody's still watching you, so you don't want to put nothing bad out there on film or anything like that. So I guess just your personal pride.
How important is it to get a big run early to build momentum and confidence for an offense?
I think it's huge. Just in the coach's eyes, even for the quarterback, it helps him with the pass game. So, and then like I said, Coach Shotty, he's going to call the run more. And even as a running back, just getting your confidence going early, it helps you have a good rest of the game. Once you have 2 or 3 big runs, I feel like the game just start flowing to you easily. So, getting a big run is very important.
If you have a big run, do you kind of tell Shotty, like, hey, let's keep going? Or do you kind of know at this point if you have a big run, he might have more confidence to keep going?
Yeah, I don't go tell him, but I think just if he see and he like how the flow of the game going, he see that the run game is going, I think he'll start to lean on it. But, we got players all over the field, so we know if the run game is going, then that's just really opening up the pass game.
Just going back to your future, you're not trying to go there right now, but when you think about the different components that go into it, and you see like what this offense has been able to accomplish, number one passing offense, and then you're still doing what you do. How much does that factor into the decision?
You always want to. You don't always want to just follow like money or things like that. You want to go somewhere where you actually want to succeed and be a part of something that's special. So I feel like it's very special here, but you just gotta, like I said, I'm just trying to keep making plays right now and see how it turns out.
All right. Thanks, Javonte.
Thank you so much.
What was the conversation like to the defensive group just about some of the changes with Flus going up in the up top and White Cotton kind of running things on the sideline this coming game?
This is my first time hearing about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think it'll be much of a change. I think it'll just it'll help us out, whatever the case may be. But we're still gonna have to do our job and execute the calls that are called.
what have you seen from White Cotton? Why do you think he might thrive in that role, kind of running things down on the field level?
Shoot, I would say he's definitely a smart coach. You know, he's very detailed in terms of coaching, especially at the defensive line position. So, you know, whatever changes they made or whatever the case may be, I think it'll just be for the betterment of the unit.
Obviously, the playoff hopes ride on Indian Eagles lost Saturday. Do you watch that game? Do you avoid that game? What do you do with that?
I worry about what our job is that we have to do on Sunday. So, you know, it'll probably be on TV or whatever the case may be while we're traveling, but that's not anything that, you know, I have control over, so it's not for something for me to worry about.
What constitutes success for your first season?
Interesting question, because earlier in the season I was, you know, more so just, you know, helping whatever I have to do to help the team win. I think that's still my mindset, I would say. Numbers might not be where I want, or my before the season goals or my preseason goals might necessarily have been met, but I'm healthy. I'm still helping my team every single week, and that's what I consider a successful season.
How does the defense be successful in these last 3 years?
Just doing our job, executing, stopping the run, and getting the quarterback on the ground to affect the passer. So, you know, play complementary defense, I would say, from the front to the backers to the defensive backs as well. So.
When you were at BC, I don't know, did you have any changes with defensive coordinator? Was it the same throughout your time?
Yeah, so I had a change after my third year, or actually after my second year, I believe. I had a couple changes, and then we had a whole new staff going into my senior year. So,
what can be the pros and cons of that? I think a lot of the thinking is continuity is very valuable to have year after year stacked with the same coordinator.
I think the players is what makes it run, and what makes whatever scheme you're in go. So it's not really much for me to say about that, because it's players, not necessarily plays. So, you know, we just have to do our job and continue to execute for sure.
Obviously, you want the playoff thing to still be there in the picture, but
of course,
hypothetically, if it's not, are you the kind of guy that you find other ways to motivate yourself, take pride in, for example, not wanting to have a losing record or something like that?
For sure, 1,000%. That's something I'd say. We take pride in winning, and we want to win ball games. So, you know, whatever the case may be with the playoffs and the percentages or whatever, we just want to finish out this season strong and win the rest of our 3 games.
What do you see from the Chargers? I know Herbert's had the banged-up hand, hasn't seemed to really affect him. What's the challenge there?
Definitely a challenge because of his throwing ability and his running ability, his scramble ability, and obviously, you know, they have a pretty decent running back and some solid receivers. So we're gonna have to just, you know, do our job, execute the calls, and, you know, get him on the ground and hit him as early as possible.
Are you a big holiday guy? Do you like the festivities?
I do like the festivities. It's good for family time for sure.
What are your favorite Christmas memories? Favorite gift? Anything like that?
I got a PS4 a while ago, and since then I've been a PS5 PlayStation guy. So.
Will you have a lot of family coming into DC, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I will, because it's nothing but like a 2.5, 3 hour drive. So.
Donovan, we talked a lot about your pass rushing development this season. You're one of the leaders among rookies in TFLs. How's your run defense kind of progressed this season?
Yeah, I think it was kind of like a question mark for others, not necessarily for me going into this year or going, you know, through that whole draft process. I always kind of said I always take pride in the run game, and I think that just comes from, you know, instincts as well as, you know, scheme and calls, especially with some of these TFLs. You know, we're running certain pressures that's allowing me to, you know, maneuver or move or whatever the case may be. So definitely take pride in the run game for sure, and it's definitely progressing.
Yeah, we talked about you shooting, taking your shot in pass protection. Is that kind of the same thing with run defense too?
Yeah, I kind of gotta play with the same instincts in the pass as I do in the run, and kind of play free instead of, you know, getting in my head or having such a strict plan on what I was gonna do pass rush wise, and just go out there and play.
You mentioned that other people might have had that question about you. Maybe you don't have that. That surprised
Never.
you when you maybe going through the draft process?
No, it didn't surprise me at all. Not at all.
What was your reaction? People would be like, oh, he's just
people are, you know, they're allowed to have their opinions and allowed to talk or whatever, you know, have their critiques. So that's not anything that I can control. I can just control what I can control. Yeah, appreciate it. No problem.